New today at 4:30, a big question many people are asking: when is it time to get your next COVID booster? Today, in fact, some of the nation's top health officials gathered for a summit on the future of vaccines. COVID infections have ticked up around the world, with the highly contagious Omicron BA.5 and BA.4 subvariants now accounting for more than 90% of recent cases here in the U.S. Vaccine boosters that are more targeted to the Omicron subvariants could be available just in time for the fall. To break down what we need to know right now is Dr. Scott Roberts, an infectious disease specialist at Yale New Haven Health. Doctor, thank you very much for being with us this afternoon. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So, I know I've been thinking about this. A lot of people really wondering when is the right time. So they offered up that second booster to certain people over 50. And it looks like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it could be open to everyone just in time for the fall.
Yeah, so right now there's the second booster, which for now is recommended for those over 50 or those under 50 with conditions that put them at high risk for severe disease. I have been certainly recommending for my patients who are not yet up to date on boosters to get up to date on boosters. We know this is not quite as good at preventing infection against this new BA.5, but it still holds up really well against the bad outcomes such as hospitalization and death.
So you would, I would imagine, recommend that folks at some point, all of us, get a second booster shot before the upcoming fall-winter season?
Yeah, I know the FDA and the CDC are looking at that data right now, and I'm very enthusiastic and hopeful to see it soon about those under 50 who are otherwise healthy. Do they need a second booster? And I don't know if we have a great answer to that question yet. I certainly am also optimistic for the Omicron-specific booster I know Pfizer and Moderna are working on this fall. For those who do qualify, I want to urge I would not wait for it just because we don't have the data yet. We don't have a time frame of when it will come out, although we certainly hope it will be quite efficacious.
I know we get a lot of questions about this from viewers all the time. Should they be concerned about mixing and matching shots as they go forward with this? If you're Pfizer, should you stick with that, and Moderna?
Yeah, there's really no big issue in switching shots between one or the other. The side effects are pretty similar, and in some cases, it may even boost immunity if you do switch. So there really is not a big difference between them. I've been recommending if you get one and you're eligible to get a booster today, for instance, go ahead and get whichever one is offered at that clinic.
What do we know about this Novovax vaccine? Obviously, this is something that I believe was used overseas for a while and now is getting cleared for use here in the United States.
Yeah, so this has been cleared for use here in the United States. And the biggest sticking point with Novovax is that it really is a vaccine through a different mechanism from our Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. I've had a lot of patients express concern to me saying that I don't want to get the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine just because it was a new vaccine, it's a new technology. And the Novavax is a much more tried and true strategy of using proteins from the virus, similar to how we do a lot of flu vaccines. All of the vaccines, Pfizer, Moderna, as well as the Novavax, are safe. So I hope that this new technology, this new type of vaccine, which also looks very efficacious, will help push some patients who have previously expressed hesitancy at getting a shot into getting a vaccine and being up to date on vaccines, especially during this BA.5 surge that we're seeing in Connecticut.
Before we let you go, Doctor, do you think this is here to stay? Is this just a way of life now?
Unfortunately, I do. I think COVID is becoming the way of an endemic disease where we may need every yearly or every so often boosters just targeted against whatever mutations we see in the community at that time, really similar to what we're doing right now with the flu. So unfortunately, I do see COVID as here to stay, and I think we will need these periodic boosters over time.
All right, well, the medicine surely has made a difference. Dr. Scott Roberts with Yale New Haven, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate your time.